So what happens when you get in with negative, what happens when you come around negative people is they attach into your energy field. A lot of times you can be aware of it. Sometimes you're not aware of it until you leave. And that's what I wanted to talk to everybody about today. So what happens? Why do they attach into your energy field? They will attach in if your chakras will begin to open. You will not know it a lot of times when your chakras begin to open, and then their energy and your energy, your vibration begins to match, and you start vibrating at the same level that they're vibrating at. Some of the times you're not going to know this until after the fact, and then that's when you find that you're feeling really weird and you're not feeling right, and you didn't even know what was happening. You feel sort of blindsided or punched in the gut. So this is why I wanted to talk about. If you know you're going to be around somebody's negative energy, or somebody who's negative, or that they have negative energy, you can do the whole 9 yards. You can do the bubble meditation. You can limit your time with them. You can be prepared to kind of excuse yourself or jet out of a conversation. You can learn to change the subject to keep them in a positive mind frame. There's a lot of things that you can do. But what do you do if you're around somebody who's normally positive, but for some reason, whatever's going on in their life, they've adjusted and they have something that is not so good in their energy field? They're like having a hard time. They could be struggling with addiction or stress or all kinds of things. And then all of a sudden their vibration shifts and you find yourself talking to these people, and then the next thing you know, you leave and you're feeling absolutely horrible and totally freaked out. What happens then? Well, what has happened during that time, if you ever are talking to people, when you're starting to feel freaked out, what has happened is it's affected your spiritual body. Like I said, your chakras are open. And so you need to figure out how to close your chakras really quickly, and you need to figure out how to ground yourself really quickly. And you may know about your chakras, not know about your chakras, but for those of you who don't know about your chakras, for those of you who don't know, they're energy centers that attach your spiritual body and your physical body. They kind of merge them together. But they are located, a lot of people think that they're right down the center of your body. Like if I turn sideways, they're right down the center, but they're not. They're near the back of your body. And so when you're around these people, they begin to blossom sometimes, or sometimes your vibration is raised and they're just open. And when they're open, that's when people's energy can really attach to you and mess with your spiritual body. When it messes with your spiritual body and you do not handle it, or you do not ground yourself, why is that important? What happens is it starts affecting your physical body. You will start feeling not very well, anxious. You will feel kind of shaky. Some of the things that we talked about before, but it can manifest into a physical, not so good feeling. So what do you do if you're blindsided? You have to ground them. You have to close the chakras. So the chakras stay open in the back of your neck. It doesn't matter if you know about chakras, care about chakras, whatever. You just want to close them, and I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to close them. So one of the first things that you can do, like if you went out, visited with somebody, and you left and you just feel like, oh my God, I just feel like terrible. I really didn't like talking to that person. I feel really aggressive. I was not enjoying that conversation at all. One of the things is water. Water is really grounding. So you can take a bottle of water, or something that's like something cold. Actually, these are two different subjects. Water, you want to drink it. That's a really good grounding technique. But the faster technique is if you take a bottle of water, a soda, something from your fridge, or like a freezer, a can of peas, or a thing of peas, doesn't matter what it is, ice, you can take it and you put it on the back of your neck. You just put it on the back of your neck like this. If you do not have water, that will immediately start to close down that chakra in the back of your neck. When the chakra starts closing down, you will start grounding into your physical body, and that energy that you gathered from those people, those negative people, will release. It will just slip off, because your chakras have to be opened or blossomed for that energy to kind of connect in like this, and if they close, they just slip off. You can't keep somebody's energy when you kind of close them down. If you do not have something cold, or you do not have like a bottle of water, or even if you're drinking in a restaurant, glass of water, put that on the back of your neck and just hold it there and get that back part cold. If you don't have something like that, what I mean by water is you can actually go, let's say you're at a mall or like somebody's house or whatever, and you can go into the bathroom, run your hands under cold water, take a little bit of extra cold water, hold it on the back of your neck. You want to hold it here. And you want to do that. It doesn't take very long. You'll actually notice it instantaneously. So that's something that's the fastest, one of the fastest grounding techniques. It's fantastic. You guys will love it. You'll be super happy about it. The other thing is smells. Grounding, if you want to be grounded really quickly, smells will do it very fast. That's why people use incense. I don't know if you see this. I like this kind of incense. It doesn't matter what kind of incense. You want it to be, usually, people say, well, use sandalwood or use this or whatever. You don't have to use a specific type of incense. You can use anything. Smells, it doesn't even have to be incense. In fact, if you're out somewhere, it can be a lotion. It can be a cologne. The funny thing is flowery perfumes don't seem to have the same effect as like musky smells as far as grounding goes. So you want to find something very earthy and musky. It can, like I said, it can be an essential oil. I mean, if you're out of the store, you can go check out the cologne section. If you're in Target, spray some cologne on you or something. It can be a lotion. It can be anything like that. It doesn't have to be incense. And that's one thing that you guys really want to pay attention to is don't overthink these techniques. And I have some things written down just in case. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is distraction. Music will do it. It sounds really funny, but music, you know, that's why the angels play music in heaven. It's like music goes straight to your soul. It's a very grounding technique. So I would do all of these things. You don't necessarily have to do one, but you want to get your chakra closed. Put the water on the back of your neck. The next thing or something cold on the back of your neck. The next thing that you want to do is you want to have something that you can, the smell, the musky smell, something earthy. Burn incense, get a lotion, get a cologne, something like that, and let that ground you. The next thing you want to do is distraction. Music is a very good way. TV shows will work too, but music does it quicker, I tend to notice. So any type of music that you like, put that on, and that is also a very quick grounding technique. And so let me just check this really quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. So you want to recognize that when you're feeling like that, you really need to do some quick grounding, and you want to get back into your physical body. Oh, exercise is the last one that I was thinking about. Exercise, go for a run, go to the gym, do whatever you need to do as far as just getting that blood flowing, getting back into your physical body, and that's really important. So this is what's really going to be helpful as far as if you're around anybody negative and you've left. Not during the time that you're with them. Well, you can do it during the time that you're with them, but usually after you leave those people is when you find that your physical body starts feeling really weird, really out of whack, and you want to get your vibration back to normal and adjust it. What happens if you don't do these techniques? I've seen a lot of people that get really high blood pressure, that they get like really high anxiety, really high blood pressures. They start just feeling completely they don't feel well. They feel completely out of whack. And so you want to really adjust. I'm scrolling through your guys' news feed right now. You want to get this, feel better. You want to be able to be around people. So anybody, if you have any questions, I'm going to start answering some stuff. My husband is a giant ball of negative energy. What do I do about it? Don says. That happens often, and ooh, ouch, that's not awesome. Basically, that's a hard subject that you probably don't want to get into too much, but you only have a few options there. You can do all the grounding techniques when you're around them. You cannot change somebody who's a big bundle of negative energy. So that's something that's kind of hard because they're not going to change unless they're ready to change. So you have to do the techniques to live with them. So if you're going to choose to stay with your husband, which some of you may, some of you not, or your wife or whoever, then you need to do the grounding techniques. You need to, one of the things I do if it's a spouse is make sure some topics are off limits and that you really work on your communication so it's more positive and not so negative. So those are the two things that you really want to do if you're like married to somebody. But then you're going to have to do the grounding techniques, and you're going to have to, limit your time with them, do the bubble. There's not a lot you can do if you're in their space all the time and they're choosing to constantly be a bundle of negative energy, except for you want to evaluate, is this what I want to do forever, you know, because it will affect your health, Dawn. Eventually, when you're around people that are negative all the time, I mean, you can ground all day long. This topic that we're talking about, I'm very aware of people who have negative energy. I'm very aware of what it does to me. I see strangers, I do readings, but sometimes it's just like I'm trying to explain to you guys, which is why I'm teaching you the quick techniques. Sometimes it will blindside me and I will not see it coming. And as soon as they leave, I'm just like, oh my God, I got to ground really fast. I got to figure out how to not feel this way. And so you do the water technique, you do all that stuff. So that's really important. Kristen says, that happened to me the other day. I became overwhelmingly nauseous upon the first 5 minutes of meeting a woman whose life is just so bad right now, listening intently. See, and that's another thing. It can happen from running into a stranger. It can happen, though, this is where it really can blindside you. You may have a friend or a family member that's normally fine, and then just for whatever reason that day, their vibration is completely out of whack, and you're just not even thinking about vibration or spiritual stuff or whatever. You go visit with them, you leave, and you're just like, whoa, I do not feel good. I feel drained. I feel weird. I feel really anxious. I don't like this feeling. Do the techniques, because we're never going to go through life and not have this happen. We're always going to be running into people that have a weird vibration that doesn't match ours for whatever reason. I don't even pick apart the reason because I don't really care. I just want to make sure that I get my vibration back to where it needs to be. And I'm telling you guys, that water trick is amazing. It's absolutely perfect. We need an emergency booklet, Anne says, to keep with us in our purses. Yes, and you need that spray that we're going to be working on to keep in your purses too. But that's a good idea, emergency booklet. Oh, I take a shower when I get home right away. And that is a really good thing to bring up. Water, showers, ocean, swim, any of those things will do it. But what I wanted to really tell you guys today is I wanted to do quick tips on if you didn't have any of these things. And it was kind of like an emergency, like you're in a panicky situation. Because there's a lot of other things you can do. You can go into meditation, you can go into doing the bubble thing, working with your angels, but I'm talking about every day. I don't have time for this. I got to run to the grocery store. I got to run my kids to a soccer game. I need a quick fix and I need it now. I don't have time to meditate. Like I'm telling you, shut your chakras down, cold water, get everything shut down. It's going to be fantastic. Brandy can't stay for this live. Watch later tonight. Thank you. Okay, cold water. The cold water trick is amazing. And the smells. You would not believe how fast smells will ground you. And like if you have incense, my husband actually keeps this in his truck. But if you have incense, you don't have to burn it either. You can just have the sticks and you can just even smell them. Anything smelling around you, or open them up and just have them on your desk or in your car or whatever. It's fantastic. So yeah, and essential oils work really well. And if you want to do something really quick, like if you're in the mall or whatever, make sure that you spray something close to your nose. You can even have it like right below your nose, but spray something that you can smell it while you're walking or doing whatever that you're doing. Frankincense oil and a diffuser works at bedtime, works good. Yeah, there's a lot of things that work good, like I said, long term, but I'm talking like if you're not at home and you don't have time to even do that. But you can always keep frankincense oil in your car or your purse or whatever, so that's really good. I get panic attacks. You know, you wouldn't believe how many people have really bad anxiety or panic attacks when they're around people or energies, and they don't realize it's related to people or energies. The interesting also thing, because I can get very overwhelmed with anxiety many times, and I notice, the funny thing is I even notice it's way better at night, because everything starts to calm down, the energy starts to calm down, everything kind of goes on the lowdown, and everybody's kind of at home and the energy's not like all crazy. So a lot of this is I think you should do traditional stuff, like you know, whatever therapies you need to do for that, but people don't realize how much that anxiety is really attached to people's energy fields and your own energy field being too open. And that's another thing that we should really address, but I probably will have to do that in another show, which is what happens when you're too open. This is what happens when you're too open. If you're developing on a spiritual level, if you're not aware that you're too open, if you just happen to be open your chakras are open, your energy field is open, and you're raising your vibration, and you're not aware of how to close things down. I know people that try to raise their vibration all the time. They practice constantly on opening and opening and opening their chakras, but you have to close those down too, or you can't leave them open all the time. I tell people that's like leaving the front door to your house open and then leaving, or being there, going to sleep and having your front door wide open. If you are open all the time and you don't learn to properly shut as much as you open, you have to shut. You're going to experience a lot of weird energies coming into your house, into your, your energetic field. So Kristen says that's exactly what my boyfriend is going through. And you can comment below, because tell me more about what he's going through. You can raise the vibrational energy of a room by using diffusing essential oils. Yes, you can. But again, Sandra, I'm talking about stuff where you're going to a picnic, you're whatever, and you just happen to be like blindsided by somebody's really bad energy. Can you please go further into detail on grounding? How does one keep grounded? Maybe future chat on the topic. Love your chats. Great work. Thanks, Jennifer. Well, I don't know what you want me to do, or what you want me to talk about future detail on grounding, but what happens is, whether people know it or don't know it, again, you have your spiritual body and your physical body, but they can separate a little bit when you raise your vibration, or when you're doing certain type of work or whatever. They can separate a little bit, which is not a bad thing. And then your spiritual body starts being very open and very big, and the vibration raises, and that's fantastic. The flip side of that is we're physical beings here on this earth, so we have to keep grounded into our physical body. So when you start to open your spiritual body so much, you will begin to feel and sense all these energies on an energetic level that you don't feel when you're grounded into your physical body. So when you're feeling affected by people's energies, you're feeling that shaky feeling, that weird feeling, that upset, that anxious feeling, that means that your physical body is way open and you're not grounded into your physical body enough. It means your spiritual body is just kind of hanging out there and being very open. You have to come back down into your physical body and ground together, and just really ground. You have to be into the earth's energy. That's into your physical body's energy, in order to get that to stop. And so what techniques work is some of the things that we were talking about that I'll actually should go into in further detail later, but it's the water, taking a shower, running water over your face, your hands, closing the chakras down with the water. It's eating chocolate is actually grounding for all you ladies out there. It smells, it's incense, it's clearing stuff. I actually will do a future chat on grounding, because I feel like that is a really long one. So Lori says, I know people like this, just everything out of their mouth, even in a festive scene, is riddled with complaints and negative flows. As an empath, I can only take doses, feel like sleeping for days afterwards. Yes, but you will notice, Lori, try the water trick. When you're around those people, try shutting your chakras down with the water, the cold water. You're going to find that it's really helpful. Okay. Lydia says, it's exhausting being around people that are Debbie Downers all the time. It stresses me out sometimes. It does. But you know what, guys? That's just life. It's true, but it's life. I mean, I would say, and this is really bad, but 70% of the people that we come into contact have a lower vibration, and they're really negative. They're not happy. Some of them are not trying to be negative. They're just so unhappy about where they're at in life that their vibration is really low. And when that happens, it can affect other people around them. So until they begin to discover and find happiness and make that a priority in their life, there's nothing that you can do. But there's so many people out there like that you are bound to run into them, and we have to learn how to live with them. We have to learn how to be in their presence, and we have to learn how to communicate with them, or how to be at a birthday party with them, or how to go to the movie theater and not worry about the people that are around us. Because this doesn't just affect, for those of you who are really sensitive, you don't have to be talking to these people. I can go into a movie theater, just like we talked about before, and have it affect me from just the people in there. But we need to be able to learn and be around this, and that's why I'm giving you guys the quick tips. It's super important to have quick tips just to get grounded, and you are going to be shocked at how fast this works. I'm telling you. The water trick and the incense, you will be Sorry, I had a weird thing happen on my phone, or on my thing. Please disregard my karma ad. We'll watch later, Jennifer said. How about feeling instantly exhausted and spaced out when you're talking to somebody? Janice says. That happens often to me, but it can happen a lot. If you're feeling instantly exhausted and spaced out, you know immediately they are trying to recharge their batteries. What happens? So I don't know if any of you've read my Energy Vampires book, but what happens is some people, they have to recharge their battery, and when they recharge their battery, they will do it from you. So they will knowingly or unknowingly pull energy from your being, and that's what happens. Again, remove yourself as quick as you can. Do the water trick, do the smell trick. It will work really well. So best scent to ground yourself. Musk scents, earth tones, or earth-based scents are the best scents to ground yourself. I tend to like sandalwood. That's a huge grounding scent, so sandalwood is huge. Why frankincense? Frankincense has been a grounding thing forever. Frankincense and myrrh, they're both grounding things. I'm not sure how much I tried. I'm not sure how much about it, but I tried it one night, slept much better since using it. Yeah, it's been a grounding oil for forever. House and bedroom cleaning is important to talk about sometime. House and bedroom cleansing. Yeah, let's do a spirit chat on this next week on total grounding techniques, because like I said, today I was kind of just talking to you about quick tips when you're around negative people. I feel like you're reading my mind. I'm always open. I need to learn to shut down. Penelope, people need to learn to shut down when they're developing on a spiritual level. Everybody is way open when they're learning to develop, and they just want to be open so much and want to be connected so much that they forget that you don't want to, or they don't know, they're not taught that you don't want to stay open all the time, because it'll start affecting your physical body. It doesn't feel good. It's very draining. It's just not good for you. And yeah, yay chocolate. I'm having upper back issues. Could this be because I'm constantly open, and how do I shut it? It can be because you're constantly open. A lot of your chakras run in your back. In fact, we had this conversation the other day where we were talking about your neck staying open, or your fifth chakra staying open, and your fourth one. It can affect your neck as being tense, and it can affect it as just being achy. And so you want to do the things that I talked about. You want to do the water stuff. There's a meditation you can do to actually imagine closing them down. Well, again, we'll get into that in another time. Take your shoes off and go barefoot. Yes, that's a good one. You can take your shoes off and go barefoot, but if it's the middle of winter time, you may not want to do that, which again, we can do that in Hawaii, but I don't know if you want to do that, because I know you're in South Dakota. So that's why the water trick is my favorite. Absolutely one of my favorites. I love my parents who fight all the time. Rather, my dad is verbally and emotionally abusive towards my poor mother. I wear sage. I wear religious metals, crystals, etc. Again, this is something you can do. You can prepare yourself for somebody that you know is a negative of negative mind frame in your house, or that you're going to go see. That you can do so much more for. You can prepare yourself by the bubble meditation. You can do the light thing. There's so many things that you can do that I'm not going to go into here because it'll take too long. But again, what I'm talking about is the quick tips. You're out at a soccer game, you're out at a bar, you're eating lunch with your friend, you're in a movie. These are the things that I'm talking about today. How to ground yourself very quickly, and to understand that when you're dealing with negative people, one of the things that is really important for people to understand is it actually really affects their heart, and it affects their blood pressure. So when you're around negative people, it'll affect you anywhere in this area of your body. It'll affect your heart and your blood pressure a lot. So that's why it's really, really important to be aware of the negative people and have quick tips to do of what to do after you were just around negative people. It's really super important, because it will go straight from your spiritual body to your physical body, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want it affecting your blood pressure and having it go up. You don't want it affecting, it can give people heart palpitations. I'm not even kidding. Like, if you're around negative people enough, it will affect your physical body in a major way if you're not paying attention to it and being prepared for it. Negative people are not just people in your life that you just have to deal with. They're just not like nuisances that you just like I said, just kind of have to deal with. They're actually people that are affecting your body. They're affecting your spiritual body. They're affecting your physical body. A lot of people don't catch that. They don't either know it until it's too late, or they assume that if they're having like heart palpitations or anxiety, or they assume that, heart issues of any kind, they assume that it's because their physical body's failing them somehow. Yes, it is failing you somehow at that point. You should always get checked out by a doctor and do all the things you need to do. But why? Why is it failing somehow? It's not because of every single thing that you ate in the last 10 years, although pay attention to that too. But it is affecting your spiritual body will dictate your physical body's health. It's very important to realize that. You will experience things in your physical body before that it will manifest into your physical body. So spiritual body gets tagged first, then if you ignore the spiritual body, your physical body will manifest physical health issues. It is just the way it is. There's no way to change it except for to be aware before that things get too far. How are you aware before things get too far? Well, you pay attention to not feeling good around people. You pay attention to why you're unhappy about certain situations and certain things. You pay attention to how it feels in your environment. How do you feel? How do you feel in your environment? How do you feel when you're around people? How does that feel to you? That is super important because that's going to dictate your physical health in the future. Like, you need to pay attention to these. Your spiritual body is connected to your emotions and your feelings, how your body feels. That's your spiritual body. That's how you can feel it. And then it dictates into your physical body. Everybody thinks that those things are physical, and they're not. And so that's really important to be very aware. The other thing that I want you guys to know is I'm going to be doing, pretty soon I'm going to be done with this, and we'll do another spirit chat, in another 2 weeks. But 2 things, don't forget to come over to the Higher Purpose Learning Center. I'll try to post a thing below because I do a spirit chat there on the weeks that I'm not doing one here. And secondly, I'm going to be doing a 28-day awareness challenge with my Keys to the Spirit website, which will be up in like a month or something. It's up now, but that's going to be something that you guys, if you're really around negative people, you might want to join in the challenge. It's going to be free. It's going to be some cool stuff that is going to be happening on there. But the whole point is to get you more aware of your spiritual body, the negativity that you're around, how it's affecting your specific life. It's almost like a whole consultation just for you. Because if you don't evaluate your own life, everybody's different. You're going to have a different thing than I'm going to have, that your brother's going to have, or your sister's going to have. We're all going to be different. Our lives are different. We're around different people. Our environments are different. So it's very important to realize what specifically is affecting you and try to do the best that we can to resolve any negativity, any negative people, or just make our spiritual body as healthy as we can possibly be, because that, like I said, it dictates your physical body. So that's really important. So I'm going to be done with questions. I'll look at one more real quick, and then we're going to be done for today. We can't run from friends who are in need of a shoulder as well as we go through some tough times. There are those who are emotional vampires. How does a sensitive who picks up on daily low vibrations push it away on it daily? That was kind of a cut up little thing there. I'm assuming that you're talking about, if you're a sensitive person, what do you do if you're drained by emotional vampires and that on a daily basis? If you're a sensitive person, there's a whole protocol that you need to go through. That's a grounding techniques. Then you want to be aware of it on a daily basis. You want to do certain things that, again, we'll talk about in the future coming up, but then you want to maintain. You want to do a daily maintenance thing, just like you brush your teeth or do any of those things. If you guys know that you're a sensitive person or an empath, again, you're going to want to do daily stuff. So until next time, thank you. Comment below. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about the beginning, rough start, but I thought the iPad video was going to work better. So have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. All right. Thanks for joining. Bye.